The following program is a Nighthawk Network presentation.
What's happening? All y'all haters, get at me. You know what it is. Anyway, it's Wednesday. Y'all know what time it is. It is time for the show we call the Guru Sports Session, where we talk that good sports to y'all and with y'all. You feel me? Look, we tell y'all this every week, but we serious, y'all. If y'all got some comments to make, respectful comments about anything we talking, bring it on. Put them in the comments. We will be doing the live look-ins this evening, even though we're recording now. And, we'll pop on and be like, hey, we seen them comments. Here's what we think. You feel me? So, yeah, do that. Anyway, let's get the show started. Can't do it, though, without my brethren. That brother right there with the nice Thanksgiving motif this week, young Hugh Lee. What's happening, Hugh?
Hey, what's good, man? How everything going, brother?
Hey, man, you know it is what it is. I can't complain too much today. How about yourself?
Man, definitely can't complain, man. It's been a good sports week too, man. A lot of stuff that
Absolutely.
happened. So yeah,
Looking forward to
definitely want to
getting
get
into
into
just
that.
that. Let's talk it over. Let's talk it over. What we got?
Man, let's start off with some of the women hoops, man, and what happened, man. It seems like November the 12th on 2023 was Hannah Hidalgo's her party, as her first year in playing in, college. She had like 26 points and she had 12 steals. It's something about that day that it seems like whenever November the 12th come around, she just act a fool on that day because in 2025, November the 12th, she had a really big game, 44 points, 16 steals. And they saying that basically first player NBA, WNBA, and NCAA men and women division to actually have that coveted, record with 44 and 16 steals. And what do you have to say about that? Because at first I feel like she was, living on top of the world, and then after that she was on the brink and she was living in the doghouse. But we'll
It
get
was an
into that.
interesting week for Helena Hidalgo, but it's been an interesting 3 years for her. I mean, keep in mind, that first year she was dominant and doing her thing, but everybody talked about how, yeah, just wait till Olivia Miles come next year off her injury, and then they really gonna do something. So that's what we got last year. And early on they played real good together. But then there was some type of disconnect with not just them two, but the whole team. They had like 4 or 5 players, and hell, 3 or 4 of them either gonna end up in the WNBA or already there. So here we are now this year. Hidalgo said, you know what? Let me show y'all what I could really do. And opened up a whole can of whoop ass on that young team. 16 steals is crazy. 7 straight possessions with a steal, even crazier. But then she turned around and played a Michigan squad later on that week. Tell them what happened then, you.
4 for 21 field goals, 12 points, 0 8 3 pointers, and they smothered her, man. What I liked about it was, like you said, they're kind of tall, and she's not that tall, but they just defended the rim, man, because they was gonna get her on trying to score those easy buckets because she's good at being quick and using her quickness as her strength and going to the bucket. Nah, they stopped all of that, man. And then, like I said, she was 0 8 from 3 point land. So that really didn't help, man. They just clamped down on her, man. How big was that lead? Was it like a 34 point
It
lead or
won by
something?
about
It was close.
35. Michigan did. They dominated and stomped them. The thing is, Hidalgo very good at transition baskets, drive him to the basket, what have you. When it comes to this being a pure shooter, still
Not
has
there.
some work to do. She has some nights where she could be streaky and hit the three, but then other nights it's like, yeah, let me just get the assistant because this shot ain't falling, and that was that. Now understand, it's still early on in the year, only 4 games, but right now, this year so far, we got Hidalgo averaging 28.8 points a game, 6.5 rebounds, and 4.8 assists. That's pretty impressive overall.
Yeah, you definitely got to give credit where credit is due, but I think that that's the formula of beating her too, man. We never really seen a blueprint on her, from the time she's been in the league, and to see now what Michigan did, a lot more teams gonna try that, man. Smother her, don't let her get to the rim, and try to check her on the perimeter. As far as I don't think people are gonna even really be worried about her with the 3-point possessions and the shots she takes from the 3-point land.
But again, you got to have the athletes to pull that off. Michigan
Yeah,
does have those athletes. They got 4 McDonald's All Americans on that squad.
yeah,
A
but you
lot of
need
other teams,
more
they're not
average
going to have
players
it.
too. Mm-hmm.
Understand, they do play some very big games later on. I think they play LSU at some point later on in the year, and they
I'll
also play
forward to that.
UConn. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how that works out. They play a good Maryland team also later on this year.
I don't think they got the all around team this year. Don't forget Sawyer
No,
Centron ain't there, Olivia Miles left, and it's not really what they had before, man.
right. They
They
got
got
a
a big
couple decent transfers, and that kid Prosper from last year is pretty good, but they overall bench ain't nearly as strong.
And then I forgot their big name, but I believe she went in the transport portal too. It was just weird how everybody just once, Olivia Miles left, we thinking, okay, what's wrong? And then Sonya, of course, went to the WNBA, had a stellar career as a rookie. But then you just start seeing people right after Olivia Miles left was leaving right along with her. And it was just strange to see too. Now you got a squad who's not as good as they were. I believe they will still be good, but I don't think they have the strength that they had last year. If anything, the best year for them to try to win it all was last year. And since that didn't happen, I think, yeah, it's going to be still trouble in paradise for that team.
Yeah, right now, in this first couple of weeks, I think it's three very clear teams on the women's side that's dominant. We got, of course, UConn at number one. You got LSU, and we got South Carolina. Them three teams seem to be a little bit head and shoulders over everybody else right now. What you think, Hugh?
Yes, I definitely agree. I know South Carolina still got their problems, man. It's another Malaysia for Wally situation over there that we was talking about, man. Yeah, man. You said, and I didn't think about it until you said it. You cool if you ain't a point guard over there, But if you a point guard, you might have a little static with, Dawn Staley.
Dawn Staley is quick to tell you she is very hard on her guards for a reason because she too was a point guard and she has a standard for them that's a little different than most teams.
My girl though, cheek to cheek, smiling, man, over there in LSU, she love it. Yeah, she's not starting, but the minutes she's getting, kind of like it reminds you. Remember when they had the big three in OKC, when you might not necessarily see James Harden start, but he's gonna play most of that game. That's where her game, was starting to go on, man. And yeah, man, I believe she loves it. She's having such a good time over there too. So it's good to see that. But yeah, it's gonna be a war. I can't wait to see them two when they go at it, man.
I mean, because keep in mind, okay, talk about Falaja. Right now, she's averaging 17.6 a game with 4 rebounds, 2.8 assists, and 3 steals. So she is having a nice season over there. But I think what it really boils down to, Hugh, she enjoys her teammates more at
Yeah,
LSU.
it seems like
I
she's
mean,
more
her and
happy.
Flage like these. You know what I'm saying?
She
They
said
seem to
that
get
too.
along very well.
She definitely said that too. Like, man, I love and I enjoy and I have so much fun with my teammates. You could tell, man. She doing layups and she probably smile a little bit. She'll like lick out her tongue or play and do little stuff like that, man. She wasn't doing that over there in South
No,
Carolina,
I
man.
think
She really
I
looked
think
upset and unhappy.
yeah, I think Dawn wanted her to be more conservative in her play.
Hmm.
She didn't mind a little bit of the flashy, but she didn't want to see too much of it. I think with Coach Mulkey, she letting her be her and do her and just be free and play free. As long as she being a good defender and a good teammate, she ain't got no issue.
When we talked about it too, I was a little surprised too, because remember, I didn't think about it until you mentioned, yeah, I'm surprised that, Kim Mulkey accepted her over there. Then when I thought about it, I said, yeah, I had some flashbacks what we was talking about before. But Yeah, man, I feel like Kim Mulkey is mature enough, man, and she understands you got to do what's best for the team. And anybody would have liked the guy Malaysia Fawali in the transfer portal, and it was just good to, like you said, her and Falajay getting along pretty good. So, yeah, it's pretty good to see them play, man. I definitely can't wait to see a lot more stiff competition because, like we talked about, I don't know, I guess it's just a SEC thing, but they play really terrible teams, man, and that's something that we're just gonna have to accept now no matter what it is, football,
Yeah,
basketball, they're gonna
yeah.
play some bad teams.
They non-conference schedule in the SEC is awful, straight awful. It's probably good for the teams that get to play in those big schools like that, but just from a viewership standpoint, I don't like it. But okay, let's kind of speed this up.
Give our
I'm gonna give you some quick things to jump on. You tell me your thoughts. First of all, what was your thoughts on the big game last week on the women's side? USC versus USC. In other words, South Carolina versus
I like the game. I thought it was going to be a little bit more closer or competitive. It was really surprised that it kind of got out of hand, and South Carolina ended up pulling out that game like they did because we was talking about it, and you was like, "Yeah, Hugh, they probably have some problems with this team," and I kind of figured too, pound for pound, that they would too. And we've talked about if Juju was there, that game probably wouldn't even went that way. So yeah, man, it was actually a pretty good competition, but I think with a Juju-less SEC, I don't think a lot of people's going to be too intimidated by them.
Although you got to give credit to the number one recruit in the country, Jazzy Davidson. You could tell she's still kind of learning her way, but I think she's gonna be a real good player by the end of the year. On the other
Yeah,
hand, on
man.
South Carolina, you got the number two recruit coming out of the class the year before, Joyce Edwards. She's starting to step her game up even more from last year. So I'm really looking
She's
forward to see how she develop over the year.
she's been a shining star over there, man. And Lanaya, what's her name? Latson. Yeah, she been
Yeah.
really acting up too over there, man. I think that was good for them too, because that's more of a Don Stanley type guard. So yeah, that fits into their mold as we speak. We can't forget about our girl too, man. She made history. She set the program record. Aldi Crooks with Iowa State, man. She had 43 points, 18 of 23 field goals in just 20 minutes. Don't you know how crazy that is, man?
No, you need to see that game if y'all haven't, y'all.
Yeah,
Audie Crooks, I understand. You see her and you look at her and it's like she's a big girl. No, 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 no.
she got
She can't
good
move.
footwork, E.
She actually
She
moves
good.
very well for a 6'3" person that's that size.
You
Not
know
to
who?
mention, she is starting to develop a nice little jump shot to go with everything else in her
Yeah,
game.
and that's the thing people I don't think give credit because some of them baskets she was getting them under the rim and dominating under the rim, but when you wasn't checking her outside, she was making them look bad too. You know what she remind me of? I don't know if she was like around the same size as him, but they definitely have things in common. And I don't wish nothing bad on her saying this person's name, but the footwork.
Oliver Miller.
She reminds me of him or either like Big Baby Glenn Davis, man, with the footwork. Because I didn't know her
I think
footwork
she
was
got a
that
better
good.
game than Big Baby, but yeah, I
Yeah,
can see
but the
you doing
footwork, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't
yeah.
think her footwork was that good. And to be big like those guys are, and even the one dude, I forgot my man's name for North Carolina State, man. I haven't seen him in a minute now, man. But he got some good footwork too. I want to know what he's doing in the NBA. I forgot his name. I'll definitely come back to him and we'll talk about that. But yeah, man, I want to get into like some of the men too. Want to give them a little credit where credit is due. Kevin
Absolutely.
Boozer, man. Boozer
All right,
from
bro. Hold on. Before we
Duke
move on
stepped
from
up.
the ladies, one more shout out to the kid over there in Vanderbilt, Miss Blanks.
Yeah.
Man, when I say sometimes she just be on one, speaking of program records of 40-point games,
Yeah, how many 40-point games she put up now, man? That's
I
is
think
that
she's
like three,
actually had
four?
two 40-point games and a 50-point game in these
Okay,
first two
kind of
seasons.
knew that. Man, I guarantee you she gonna hit another 50-point game before this season over with, man.
I do believe so.
Yeah, she's been on tear, man. And I
Yeah,
just
so
and it's
like you
crazy
said,
too.
I'm looking forward to the SEC regular conference schedule because
Absolutely.
it's gonna be some good games on that.
I don't know. Like I said, I think it's the education and plus the NIL now. You know, you're going to get the best education and you're going to get that good NIL money because a lot of people ain't trying to go to Vandy. And it's opening up opportunities for other people, man, because Vandy's been definitely a powerhouse, man, in both football and basketball, men and
Absolutely.
women.
Absolutely.
All right. You ready to talk about my man's young Cameron?
All right, let's do it.
Man, he's been the shining star over there, man. And it's sad because his brother don't get a lot of the spotlight. I believe he was top five, Cameron Boozer, when it came to recruits. I think his brother was like in the top 25, maybe the 23rd player. But Cameron Boozer's been showing himself, man. He definitely been showing his ass, 35 points and 12 rebounds, man. And he's been doing good as far as leading Duke, as far as in scoring and rebounding. And I think that's it's just not fair, man. You already have a good team with Duke. Always gonna have some of the best recruits, but you get them two over there now. So yeah, man, I'm definitely surprised to see not as much as their quick start, but just the way they're playing and how dominant he is earlier on in the season. You know, he might have his growing pains, but still, man, this dude's a grown man already in the collegiate level.
I mean, it's unusual to see so many one and done players starting to play now at Duke. You know, that really started to be the case in that year when they got Zion and RJ Barrett and all them. And, you know,
Kyrie,
that last couple of years of Coach K, when he finally just said, well, you know, everybody else doing it, we might as well do it. So now it's like every year now they starting to get the one or two players that's going to probably just be there for a hot minute and leave. Now, again, Cameron Bruiser, I think he is going to be better than his father, quite frankly. I mean, right
yeah.
now, like I said, 21.6 points a game, 10.2 rebounds, 4.4 assists, and shooting over 51% from the field. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, man. It's been just impressive period right now in basketball. Because remember, we was watching that UConn game with the Bansa and
UConn versus BYU. Yeah,
yeah,
that was a good
that
game
was a
Saturday.
good one
Uh-huh.
too, man. Because at first I was thinking that UConn was gonna run away with it. Then they started making a game of it. Damn near could have won that game possibly, man. But it was just really good basketball. Like my man's Caleb Williams, man. You know, I got to bring him up, man, because you know I like North Carolina, man. But yeah, he's been really balling too, man. I like his game, and I like what they're doing. They're 4-0 right now. But even us right now, as the Michigan Wolverines, you have the women ranked number 6, and I think what are the guys? Are they ranked number 7 right now? They're in the
Yes.
top 10.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we've been balling too, man, and it's just been a feel good feeling
And,
for
and,
Michigan.
and don't and don't steal Michigan State too short. Both of their
Nah,
teams in the top 25 as well.
Mike Izzo, man, you know he the X factor over there, man. You
Yeah,
know,
like I said, you know, last week when they played, who did they play? Michigan State. They play Arkansas, another good team. You
another
know,
good
coached over
team.
there by Calipari, and you know
Yeah.
they played them pretty tough. That Michigan State squad, they definitely gonna be probably top 10 most of the year.
But you know, too, when it comes to the tournament time, man, it's always feast and famine, man. But they always seem like they can get to that Elite Eight Final Four status, man. As long as you got Izzo, man, it's a way, man.
Right. That's why I wish more of the bigger teams would schedule the way Izzo and people like Dawn Staley and Coach Oriema schedule their schedules where they're not ducking no smoke. They
Not at
trying to play
all.
all the big schools.
They should make better decisions too in the SEC, like getting some of them ACC crossover games and different games of that
Yeah,
nature. I don't like the fact
absolutely.
that they be, you know, just settle with these okey doke schedules, bro.
Right. Like I said, you know, not to belittle the little schools, but you know, sometimes y'all know y'all way overmatched. Come on now. I mean, if
Shout
it's
out
a
to you.
payday, then take the payday. But outside of that, I wouldn't want to play.
And shout out to your boys, man. Texas Tag 2, the basketball team. You know, I love JT Toppin, man. I be sitting up here lying to you if I said I ain't like that kid. I was telling you about him all last season because every time I looked up, his name was in the news, but he put up a big game, man. So yeah, them dudes is really making making steps and volumes too with basketball and football, man. So yeah, had to definitely give my man the shout out too.
Right. So yeah, we'll definitely keep y'all up to breast about all the big games coming up as the season goes on. We definitely got a big one coming this Sunday on the women's side. You got top ranked UConn playing number 6 Michigan. That should be a pretty good one, man. I think
Yeah,
Michigan, they should make it interesting for them because they do have a lot of good guards that's a nice size, as opposed to the UConn guards that's kind of more like 5'9" ish, 5'10". So I'm kind of interested to see how that matchup goes. And then of course, I want to see if Michigan got any answers for that kid Sarah Strong.
yeah, because I know Michigan is a good team, man, and you know you love to cheer for your hometown, but it's just, man, when you got Coach Gino over there, man, and you got like the standard, I want to just see Michigan, you know, fit the mold, and you know, I want to know how they measure up to UConn, and that's the
Right. I
biggest
mean, long story short, because
thing.
it's the program I very much respect. as opposed to the team that I very much love. I've been a UConn Husky fan for damn near 25 years now, so I'm kind of torn. But if it come down to it, I got to go with my Huskies. But in the end, I want Michigan to at least give them a good game.
And I can't be mad at that. Why would I sit up here and talk to you and trip out and be like you're a hypocrite because of that? When we got family from different states, like you got family from Mizzou and you show love to them, and I got family from Alabama. But then I don't have family from this squad, and I like the North Carolina Tar Heels. That's just how I've always been. So we like what we like, man, and that's just the bottom line.
And like I said, we're just fans of the game. So, it's several of these teams that I like watching. I like Iowa State and watching Artie Crooks. I like watching USC play. I like watching UCLA play with the Bet sisters.
I learned that from one of my boys, Antoine Moore, and my boy Joven, and my other boy, Antone, man. I used to just focus on my brand, my team all the time, And they was like, "Hugh, man, you need to start watching other teams, man, and check them out so you could respect those brands and just have an all-around diverse conversation about sports." And once I did that, man, I started finding guys like Luke Kuechly, who was playing on Thursdays and Fridays, and guys like that who was, diamonds in the rough that people ain't pay attention to. And that's what expand me and my knowledge of the game. So I like to give shouts out to them boys and let them know I appreciate that, man, because that's how I'm so diverse right now when it comes to like just different teams in general.
Right.
Let's discuss what you was talking about too. When you showed me that, man, I want to know more about it because now we're talking about the WNBA. I want to just put that out there so you guys know what's going on. That damn Project B is a problem right now, man. Because I think if they don't do better with their negotiations, a lot of women are gonna be like, "The hell with y'all." We already got some women over there right now explain that.
I think what we're looking at is that, keep in mind, I think it's called Project B because Plan B kind of is a bad connotation from a female standpoint. But what it really boils down to, there's an international group of individuals that said, you know what, we really like the product that we're seeing in terms of the women play. We're going to put up the capital. We're going to put up the advertising and whatnot. We can make a league where we can pay these women more money and have them go basically across the country. Well, not country, but across different countries and whatnot and play ball and make a good product. So I think what we're seeing is like the international version of the original USFL forming in front of our very eyes. Because even though, the latest negotiations came out and they're saying that, yeah, we're now going to pay the top players in the WNBA like $1.2 million per season. That still ain't good enough, man.
No,
I mean, when we look at their male counterparts making 60 and 70 million, you gotta feel. I mean, granted, yeah, WNBA don't get that type of pub or crowd every game, but they've been getting enough in these last few years where it seems like they should be making considerably more than the $60,000 or $70,000 on average that a lot of them make.
And remember when we was kicking it before too, man, we seen how much Project B gonna pay these women. Like $2 million, and then they were saying it's 6 figures, and they were saying that you could make at least close up to 8 figures with the multi-year deal too. So you up against that now, and your negotiations is crappy, like 1.2 million. It's like, man, you're gonna see it. The writing's on the wall, man. You already got Nneka Ogwumike. Then you have Jonquel Jones, and who's the other person too? He is 3 people already commit. Alyssa Thomas.
But no, they added 4. Jewel Lloyd has signed on to the Project B League as well.
Man, I didn't know that. That's pretty good.
Remember, the majority of the women in the WNBA right now are unrestricted free agents to sign with whoever or whatever league they choose to sign to. So it's a possibility.
They're gonna lose a lot of them.
May not play next season, and it may be a possibility. It may be a whole different league entirely by the time they figure this all out.
You know what, Eda? You know what I'm starting to think about, man? It might be replacement players because a lot of those women could probably go over there and get all that money they could.
I think they're going to lose quite a few of the players to that league. And then remember, you still got the Unrivaled League as well. And the smart thing is Project B is working around the Unrivaled League, so they're not cutting into them. So you still could go and remember, you still able to make more money playing in unrivaled league than you
Yes.
do in the
Yeah.
league. And it ain't but like a 3-on-3 20-game schedule. So something gonna have to be done. Something
'Cause
serious.
we was talking about how they get paid more money winning that like that cup championship in the middle of the year than they do in the finals, man, or
Yeah.
winning the finals, and that's crazy.
Because see, the good thing for them is the fact that you got Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark and those folks still under their rookie contract, so they can't really go nowhere at the moment.
Yeah,
But
they kind of
remember,
restricted to be there.
if we setting this up as the USL was set up back in the day, as these new kids come out this season, they may now have an option to say, okay, no, I don't want to go WNBA. I want to go to this other league instead. And then you're going to start to have a serious problem. Because remember,
Yeah,
next year, we looking at the best draft class of all time, potentially. And if half of them end up not going to WNBA and going to this other league instead, WNBA, as we know it, might be on its way out.
there. Shit, it won't be no more, man. You just had that plan B by that time. So,
Yeah, so
and it's
basically, think live golf and what that's like.
yeah.
That's pretty much what they're trying to set up with this Project B League.
The PGA was pissed when Liv came off, but we seen the money they was giving too, and I was like, man, I don't blame a lot of these guys. I would have went over
Right.
there too.
You gonna pay me 20 million up front, and then whatever I win on the tournament, I win. But then the way the Live League set up, like you winning something regardless. Whether
Man,
you
what's
finish first or last.
don't the last place win like $1 million, something like that?
Depending on
Something
what
crazy.
tournament it is, yeah. And then they got the
That's
whole team
money.
play too, and the teams win money. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think WNBA better get on the ball with this one.
Yeah, because them holding up right now, as soon as they heard of this league and how much they was gonna start paying, they should have just been like, hey man, we're gonna try to get y'all 3.5 million and do 8 figures in
Long
a
story
multi-year
short,
deal.
you got 12 players on the squad. At least 3 or 4 of those players should be making over $1 million. Period.
I agree. Even if it's 1.5 million, man, they need to start paying
Right.
them
I mean,
what they
I
want.
cannot sit here and expect the WNBA to get paid like NBA players. That's just not realistic at all.
Absolutely,
It's
but
kind
at
of
least
crazy what some of them make as it is, but
they should at least be the
making
millions though.
at least a fifth of that.
Yeah, because 250,000 and 500,000 and all that stuff is not
Right.
good.
Meanwhile, you got bench players in the NBA making $3 million just to basically either play in the G League all season or just sit there.
That's a good job, man. Hell, 3 million to sit on the bench. Hey, I'll be the best bench warmer in the world for that
In
much.
practice, absolutely.
Man, I want to know how this gonna materialize too, as far as the project B and what they're gonna have to offer, what's gonna be their revenue as far as their TV deals. There's a lot of stuff that I'm interested in with this league and how they gonna break bread and how they gonna actually give us this product too, man. That's one of the main things I want to see right now. Definitely competing.
Yeah, I think we'll get a better feel for it in the next 4 to 6 weeks as they start to sign more people and formulate how they're gonna do everything.
We're gonna see a lot more big names go over there too, and I'm
I most
looking
definitely
forward to
see that happening. And of course, if some of the biggest ones go, I mean, like an Asia Wilson or somebody like that, that changes everything.
problem. That's gonna be a huge problem. So they need to
Right.
get
But
off
think
their
about it. They
high.
offering who they offered these 2.5. It would only make sense that they'd be like, you know what? We got to open the bank for Asia. Here's a hot 10 for you. You still want to stay in the WNBA?
Nope, I'm out.
If I'm Asia Wilson.
Because they ain't gonna try to even look. They're not even gonna look that direction to pay that, man. So yeah, they're gonna lose some big name people because of the money they're gonna spend, man. Because I just don't feel like they're trying to do enough right now,
Right.
especially
Because
without
I know a couple of the investors, I believe, are Saudi Arabian and from Dubai, and it's big money in them places, boy.
Yeah, they got money.
Money.
I want to get on E and talk about the NBA. Talk some little bit of NBA talk right now, man. You already know what I'm gonna start this off with, man. Detroit Pistons won 11 straight games, man. How legit do you think this team is this year, E?
It's kind of crazy if you really look at what's really going on. understand, we got the best record in the Eastern Conference right now, second best record in the league behind Oklahoma City.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been doing this the last 6 or so games without our starters.
We got a lot
Most
of G
of the
League
starting
guys on the team.
lineup has been hurt. I mean, Cade missed 3-4 games. Tobias Harris been out half the season now.
Jalen
You got
Durham.
Jalen Durham just came back after missing 3 or 4 games. You got Sasser still out. You got Asar Thompson been out most of the season. But yeah, here they are winning games and winning them pretty convincingly, most of them. These ain't been no squeak bys. Most of these games, they've been blowing teams out. Now, granted, yeah, a few of the games they play, you know, the Hawks, the Pacers, not good teams, but they didn't also beat some very good teams during this streak.
They beat the Bulls, who got a good team. They blew out Orlando, who's a good team. And
They
they
beat
beat
the
the
Knicks, that's a good
76ers
team.
twice. They beat the 76ers twice, who's a pretty good young up-and-coming team with
Absolutely.
VJ Edgecombe. And then you already got Tyrese Maxey, Kelly Oubre. They got a lot of good stuff going on over there, man.
Absolutely.
With
Remember,
the
they beat the Houston Rockets, that's a good team.
Yeah,
So,
that
you
was the
know,
surprise of it all.
granted, it's still very, very early in the season, but we talking
Mhm.
13-2. You know, on the East side, I'm gonna safely assume 42 wins probably get you in the playoffs. 45 will
Yeah.
probably put you in the top 6, and 50 or more will put you in that top 3. So, if they can at least keep it up or at least go half and half the rest of the season, that pretty much put them in the playoffs and in a
Even
good spot in the playoffs.
with how good the 76ers are playing, man, this conversation was gonna come around. It comes around every year, man, around, the time in the mid-season, man. Do you think that now it'd be best for them since they got this young team and they winning despite Joel Embiid? And yeah, they still got Paul George over there, but I mean, come on now, man. I think this time for them to deal and say, hey, man, let's see what we can get for Joel Embiid right now,
But
man.
honestly, based on what we seeing, it's only so much you gonna get for Joel Embiid. I mean, remember he got that huge contract right now. Granted,
Absolutely.
it's only
That's
got
hurting
another
them.
year or so on it, but we talking 60 million.
That's
Ain't
hurting
nobody
them.
taking that on for half a
No,
player.
no, I agree. And Paul
Now,
George
granted,
too,
Joel
man.
Embiid, when healthy, best top 3 player in the league, no doubt, on
But
offense
that
and
help,
defense. But
help is
when
never there,
healthy,
though. And that's
when
rare.
healthy.
That is definitely where, unfortunately, too, man. Who do you think in the NBA right now, in general, would be the biggest threat to dethrone the OKC Thunder right now, too, as well?
That's a good question. Honestly, I'm gonna say the Lakers right now. To understand, they've been playing pretty good, and now they finally got LeBron back last night. And it seemed like he is willing to take kind of a secondary role to the whole Luca thing. He had 11
Yeah,
and 12 last night. They
12
don't
assists.
overwork him, true enough, but I think that's pretty much how they're gonna play it with Luca kind of doing his thing, and then LeBron to kind of pop in spots. But looking at the rest of that team and some of the stuff we didn't expect from them, like the one foreign guy whose name I keep forgetting, Badia, whatever it is, and then
Yeah.
of course Connect's playing better, and then AR-15, he just stepped his game up a couple notches.
Reeves, yeah.
Like I
Reeves
said,
and
they even
Doncic
got
is
Lil
on the
Bronny
tear.
making significant little minutes in there. So yeah, if I say it's any team right now on the West, it would be the Lakers.
I want you, E-Man, too, man. Let's look at the top 5 in the NBA of all, like, the different stats, man. If you get a chance, what I want you to do is I want you to go to your ESPN app and hit the stats, man. I was looking at this, man, and I was like, I wasn't really too surprised because we expected a lot of this. But right now, at the top, as far as points per game, Luka is averaging 34.6 a game,
Yeah,
followed
that's
by
pretty much par for the course.
followed by Tyrese Maxey with 32 and a half. And then
That's
you
the
got
surprise.
that was the biggest surprise of the ball, man, because I think he's in some of the categories too that I'm about to talk about. And then you got Shai Gilgeous Alexander with 31.9. Doesn't surprise me.
Still playing at MVP level, no surprise.
Giannis is holding his team down right now, man, with 31.2 a game, and he's been distributing the ball a lot more. And then was fifth on the list is Donovan Mitchell, man, with the 30.9. What are your thoughts right now? And that's the reason why the Lakers are so effective right now, because I love Luca right now, where he's displaying.
Right, and I think Cleveland will step their game up a little bit more. They've been having some injury issues over there as the season go on. But Giannis, they got what they got over there. Okay, they got
Yeah,
Giannis. You know we love that dude Bobby Portis. They got a couple other people, but yeah, ever since they let go of Dame Dollar, I gave up on any hope of them winning another championship.
I don't see
That
it
that's
much.
the real question today. Will Giannis want to be traded by the All Star break? Now
Would
that's the
surprise.
person you could get something for.
Wouldn't be surprised. Funny thing is, too, man, it's like the NBA now, man. And this is what I was talking about, because somebody hit me up on TikTok, one of the guys, and was saying how bad some of the stuff is, or what they let people slide with in the NBA. I've said, man, the nerve of one of those guys who was one of the commentators on the game and was saying, man, look at Giannis' stride. He only took 2 steps from the 3-point line. It was at the rim. No, he took about 6, 7, man. And I know that's funny. But when they said that too, man, it was like you see him taking them steps, and you had Reggie Miller and some of the other guys like, come on now, man, where was this at when we were playing? If
Right.
we did that, we'd have a lot more points. But he literally took like 6, 7 steps, man, to the rim to get a layup, man, and it
I
was
mean,
just
his Euro steps is kind of like how some of Allen Iverson's crossovers was. He definitely did a lot of palming when it came to some of that crossover.
But to let it get away with it, just turn your head and let it slide, man. That's what I'm talking about when I say I get upset with the watered down product that they put in the NBA, man. But give or take, you
Right.
get
I
what
mean,
you get.
understand people. Every game so far this year in the NBA, they averaging like 63 point attempts between the two teams per
And
game.
it's
That's
ridiculous.
nuts. And they making maybe 20 of them 60.
Funny you said that too, E, because let's get off into that, man. 3-pointers made. You got Steph Curry, of course, with 4.5 a game. Donovan Mitchell with 4 even. Grayson Allen, 3.9. Tyrese Maxey in another category with 3.8. And then you have Lloyd Markkinen, which actually surprised me, that he, has 3.7.
But understand, all of them are shooting around 40%. So that means they taking at
Yeah,
least 9 a game of them 3.5 or 4 that they hitting. So
yeah.
that's a lot of misses.
That's a lot.
A lot. I mean, hell,
Most
Steph
of them,
Curry, one game, I do believe he went 2 for like 15, something like that from 3-point land. That's just crazy work.
yeah. And that's what it's starting to be, man. I remember the one time we saw the playoffs. I don't think it was I think it was maybe the year before, or I don't know, maybe last year. Man, they was taking shots, man. They was missing bad too, but they just kept chugging them, man. And this just makes me sick to my stomach,
It,
man.
it, it's very hard basketball to watch right now. But you know who actually plays a pretty good brand of basketball these days?
Hmm.
Another team that you should watch out for, San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, they got a hell of a team over there, man. You got Vassell, you got Castle over there,
Right,
man. You got my man De'Aaron Fox, who seemed like
right.
he's happy there, and then you got the big man over there
Of
too,
course, you got
man.
the alien.
Oman Barnes, you got
Yeah, don't
Oman
forget
Barnes
about the.
over there. That's a good squad, man.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I like how they play. I mean, Pop's not there anymore, but they still kind of playing some Popovich type basketball over
Absolutely.
there.
Because that assistant been with him forever, so
Right.
that definitely makes sense. I know my
And I
sister
kind of
got
hate
one
that
of
they
the
didn't play.
Spurs.
They didn't play all the good people last night. It seemed like when San Antonio played who they played. I forgot who they played. Oh yeah, Memphis, because wasn't no John Morant on their side, and Wemby didn't play on their side. So yeah, it was
It's tough for
still
those
a pretty
games
good
too, man.
game despite it all though.
Definitely when, especially when you pay for them tickets, man, and you don't see them all the product. That sting a little bit
Yeah,
too. As far as
agreed.
the rebound leaders, man, you got Luca at 13.4. Not Luca, Nikola Jokic. My bad. You
Don't
got
put
Victor
Brian there.
Wembanyama with 12.9. Carl
Don't
Anthony Towns with 12.7. The Domantas Sabonis, he has like 12.3, and you got Jalen
Mhm.
Duren in that conversation, man, with 11.3. He's the most
Understand,
improved player to
he
me,
is
man.
definitely the most improved player in the league right now, no doubt about it. Because not only is he doing a good job rebounding and on defense, but he's actually doing a better job of shooting the basketball.
He is, man. He's been playing lights out, and that's what I think. Him elevating his game, and just imagine when Jaden Ivey come back, it's definitely going to be something fun to watch. We got something cooking here, man. A good
Right, and
development from JD
understand the
Bickerstaff
latest
too.
on that is that Jaden Ivey has been assigned to the G League affiliate to get some work in, so they're figuring probably next couple weeks he'll be playing.
Definitely looking forward to that, man.
Oh yeah.
And then, and you know the blocks, man. Victor is definitely at the top of the list with 3.6 a game. And then the kid from Charlotte, man, Ryan Kalkbrenner, he
Right.
has like 2.2. And then you have Alex Sarr with 2.2.
And
Isaiah
what team does
Stewart,
that brother play for?
huh?
Alex Sarr.
He played for the Washington Wizards.
Remember, people, that dude was the number one pick last year. He
He's
finally
been
started to pay some type
silent.
of dividend.
Hmm. He kind of got off at the end of the year, but he's been kind of silent this year, man. And then I'm definitely happy Isaiah Stewart in that conversation too, with 2 per game. And then you have Rudy Gobert, which surprised me, and only have 1.8 blocks. Man, I thought that he'd be doing a little better at this point.
A Rudy Gobert sighting. Wow.
Yeah, because he's been pretty relatively quiet as well, man. And then you got the steals, man. You got Cason Wallace from OKC with 2.4. And then Dyson Daniel, you know, he's like, he remind me of the glove Gary Payton, man. He always find his hand on some balls. Pause.
Pause.
He got 2.3. And then you have the other kid too from Chicago, Trey Jones. He has
Mhm.
2.1. Marcus Smart has 2 per game steals, and then you got McCall Bridges with the Knicks with 2 steals a game.
I mean,
And
of course, Smart and Bridges both always been good defenders, so no surprise there. The kids, I mean, I definitely think some of those categories you'll definitely see a whole different set of people maybe 20, 30 games from now. So, the block leaders and the rebound leaders, them should more or less be the same throughout the
yeah,
season. But the steals and stuff like that, yeah, I think you'll see different folks pop
the
up.
one person I don't definitely think gonna change, or they probably take that top spot is Dyson Daniels, man, because he get a lot of steals, man. I remember he was averaging 4 steals a game last year. So yeah, man, I'm definitely looking forward to see how that's going to materialize. But as far as the standings right now, like you said, man, you have OKC at 14-1, you have us at 13-2, and then you even have a banged up Cleveland team though. Still, they're 10-5. And then Toronto was the big surprise at 9-5, and then you had the Knicks and the Sixers at 8-5. But the Atlanta Hawks was playing a little better to me without Trey Young. What are your thoughts on that, man? Because they won like 5 in a row before they lost to us yesterday.
I think it's still playing out to where eventually they figure out a way to say, okay, now I'm comfortable with letting Trey go somewhere else. I'm surprised he's still in Atlanta, to be honest. I do
Yeah,
believe at some point he'll move on to somewhere else. But no, actually, I find it interesting because, of course, when we talk about the good and bad of it, Dallas not playing so well, and they contribute one of the problems being that Trey Thompson is not invested, they say, because of things going on in his personal
oh
life.
yeah, they definitely been clowning Clay and saying basically with
Now,
him.
why, conversely, are we not giving credit for Toronto and Brandon Ingram playing so well for what's going on in his personal life with young Glorilla?
I don't get that how they kind of just threw that man under the bus like that. But we said that. What did I tell you the other day? I think Golden State seen the writing on the wall. They said we're not gonna pay this dude all this money, man, especially the way he's been dropping off these last few years. He played decent last year, but then that writing on the wall basically starting to show his ugly face because he's not
I mean,
producing.
just give it credit for being old, just like the whole thing where everybody's saying Travis Kelsey is not himself since he started dating Taylor. Travis Kelsey in NFL years is old, dog.
How old is he? Like 32, 33?
34.
No, that dude about to retire after this year. You can see it.
Exactly.
Then you had 10-3 Denver, in Houston at 9-3, but I was surprised with 11-4 Lakers, like you said. And then you have 10-4 San Antonio Spurs, but then you have a 9-5 Minnesota team. But who surprised me too, he was Phoenix, man. They're 9-6. What are your thoughts? Do you think some of these teams are going to come back to reality?
9-6, Phoenix definitely coming back to earth. They definitely have benefited from not playing a lot of the good teams so far. That's why
they've been playing some bad teams too.
Denver should still stay up there. Houston is obviously going to be good. I think the Lakers and San Antonio. From that point on, it could be anything. I mean, Minnesota, they definitely going to start stepping up once they get a healthy Ant-Man.
Oh, absolutely.
Portland not even going to be nowhere near this when it's all said and done. Because, Dallas will eventually play better. The Clippers will play better, So, yeah, the West definitely it's going to be some movement for sure.
Let's get into like the college football now, man. Step on that right quick, man.
Okay, well, now before we do that, I think this is a good time for us to jump in and take our commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk our football stuff, y'all. So check us out. This is the Guru Sports Session. That is the Guru Hugh Lee. I'm your boy E-Buck. We'll be back after these words from the Nighthawk Network. Tell them the motto, Hugh.
Our people, our voices.
He gonna get it right one day. Our voices for our people. Right on back.
Wait a minute, E. Before you go back, let's focus on we're gonna lightning round this.
All righty then. So yeah, we're gonna give you the lightning round version when we come back to the show. Again, Guru Sports Session. Our voices for our people. Y'all know the deal. Back.
If you're building your dream from scratch, mic in one hand, hustle in the other, this one's for you. Road to Stardom Network and Nighthawk Network present a podcast for the indie by the indie, all genres, all grinds. From hip-hop to metal, jazz to trap, we're breaking boundaries. And it's not just artists. Entrepreneurs, creatives, and self-made bosses, we see you. We're giving you the spotlight. This ain't mainstream, this is your stream. Coming soon. Be ready.
Hold up, hold up.
Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag. Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag. Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag. Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a
He talks sports his way. It's the Guru's perspective. All right, y'all. We are back. This is the Guru Sports Session. I am E-Buck, the co-host. Here's the host with the most, Hugh Lee. We talking college football lightning round session. Let's do it.
Michigan versus Northwestern, man. Number 18 ranked Michigan. Was you shocked or wasn't shocked in the way Northwestern played?
A lot of young people on this Michigan squad. I think you're starting to see that for yourself. Not to mention the fact that suddenly Michigan's got a running back problem.
Yeah.
Haynes out for the season. Potentially out for the season is the backup running back. I forget
Who, Jordan Marshall?
Yeah, he's gonna be out
Ain't no way.
with the shoulder injury, they said.
Dang.
So understand we playing Maryland. Probably get past them with much of an issue, but you know who we play that following week, and that's going to be a problem because it already was going to be a problem if all those people were healthy. And and again, remember, the kid is only 18. And at times you see he is only 18.
Yeah, still
He
love the
plays
kid.
that way. I can only imagine what this kid is going to be like 2 years from now with all that experience and time to practice and adjustments and all of that. But yeah, this Michigan team actually is playing better than I thought. And as far as Northwestern goes, exposed. They're not as good as their record indicated.
We're gonna talk about the team that pissed me off recently when we was on the phone and you laughed at me because I couldn't believe it. I was just so stunned in this game. Clemson versus number 20 Louisville.
Clemson, I think we starting to see the change of the guard over there at Clemson. I do believe Dabo will be elsewhere next year because there's so many good teams that's kicking out whoever they got over there, and they're gonna be looking for somebody like a Dabo. In the meanwhile, it's that time of year. Some games people go into and it becomes that trap game. Oh, we got them. No, you don't. No, you don't. We
You
can't
know,
play.
you know what pissed me off though. Louisville had a better kicker. We wouldn't even be having this conversation. He missed 2 field goals, and it wasn't like it was far field goals. Come on, man.
It's crazy how the kicking game has become such a major factor in this last year or two with
But they
teams,
improved.
not just in college, but in the pros.
They played better in the college. Remember before when we used to see college, we'd be like, damn, they at the 45-yard line. It's not sure. It's a hit or miss. They've been kicking like 50-yarders and stuff now, man. But
Again, you got to remember, it's because of the changing of the rules. Remember, they use a whole different ball now when they kick these field goals than the one that they play with the rest of the time. There are kicking balls. And clearly these kicking balls are set up in a way to where you can kick them farther and further with more control. That's why we starting to see these longer field goals. That's why we starting to see more teams take these field goal attempts.
Yeah, definitely. I was still pissed off at that game, man. That final score,
Yeah,
what was it, like 20-19, something funky?
Something to that effect, yeah.
South Carolina and number 3 Texas A&M. You know, I had to admit it. I was wrong on this one because it ain't no way that game should have ended 31-30, and it ain't no way South Carolina should have lost that game. Shame on them and their coaching staff.
I broke all that down last week that when it comes to the difference between Texas A&M and Texas Tech, it's the defense. They give up a lot of points.
But man, South Carolina came to play, man. That Lenore's kid too, man. Lenore Seller, give him a chance, man.
Anybody in the SEC is coming to play most weeks. So that's why these SEC games hit different.
This is something you ain't hear me complain about, and you know why. Number 11 Oklahoma versus number 4 Alabama. What was your thoughts on that game?
Alabama still is in the playoff right now. I don't care.
I couldn't believe when you said that, I was pissed. I said, ain't no way they're going to be in the playoffs if they win. But let's look at something, man. Where are they at right now? I said, ain't no way they should be number 10.
Alabama is ranked 10th. Let's look at the teams around them, however. Vanderbilt, did they not lose to Alabama?
Mm-hmm.
So that means if they lose any more games, they up out of it. All right, we got BYU. BYU, one more loss, they up out of it. So now we got Alabama. They right next to Notre Dame. Those two are one of the 4 teams that seemingly have an automatic bid in this thing. So in other words, I'm talking Bama, I'm talking Notre Dame, I'm talking Georgia, and I'm talking about that team down south. Mm-hmm. At this point, if they win out, they in. For Alabama, as long as they win out, they still in.
How do you feel
Dame, I don't even think Notre Dame got to win out. I think they could lose one more game and still get in.
I wouldn't be surprised either. But your method it was correct, man. Because when I saw that, I said, wow, they still number 10. So, yeah, that kind of shocked me.
Not surprised at all. But at remember, the same part of it is the play of these teams. And truthfully, part of it is
they definitely have
travel, sir.
They have some good competition. They beat a lot of ranked teams this year, too. And I don't really think that they were going to be as good. But still, at the same time, I was saying people need to be patient with Caleb DeBoer because of the fact is Nick Saban didn't come over there as a world beater, man. It took him time to develop and get that team together, what he made over there. So, yeah, that's what
I'm full cycle for you to
Yeah.
get your players in the program. In other words, you need
Yeah.
that 4 years, dog. Remember when Harbaugh first went to Michigan, it was the same
Yeah.
thing. The first couple of years, not so good. But once he started to get his players in the program, it started to turn things around.
You know, that was the worst conversation I had to have with my aunt, man, that night, man. You know, I was hesitant to have that call, man. But that final score was like 20, what was it, 21 to 23? It was
And
definitely
also, we talking
definitely
Oklahoma.
manageable.
Unbelievably enough, Oklahoma actually has a good defense this
They
year.
have a really good defense, man. If it took that, I feel like that pick six hurt them, and then that missed field goal hurt them. That was like 10 points right there, that spreads, but it was still a hell of a game. I actually enjoyed that game, man. And how did you feel about the Iowa and a number 21 Iowa and number 17 USC? Did you think that one was a good one?
That'd be a good basketball game. I don't give a damn about the football. We already know what Iowa is. Iowa's the same that they are every year. They gonna have a good defense. 3 or 4 of them dudes gonna make it to the pro. That offense is gonna be trash. The only thing they're gonna have good on Iowa is the tight ends. Because Iowa keep a good tight end. You know this.
And they keep some good linebackers too, man.
Absolutely. But beyond the realm of that, don't nobody care about no Iowa and USC. They are not the football power that they once were. It may be time to go ahead and let that kid Riley go too.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Let's get into the lightning
And he
round.
teaches offense. He don't teach defense.
Remember, man, the defense is just atrocious, bro.
That go back to the Oklahoma days.
Agree. You ready for the NFL? We about to lighten in this too.
All right, let's go.
How did you feel about that Jets Patriots game?
Well, we got what we thought we was gonna get.
Absolutely.
Jets is cheats. Patriots is good. It played out
them.
that way. And now that it cost my man his job.
Yeah, Fields.
Yep.
I don't think he ever getting a starting job again after that.
Nor
man.
should he. That should be the
final-
last time we see him start unless he's somebody's backup and have to come in.
That final score was 27-14. Okay.
And it wasn't even that close.
How did you feel about that morning game? You know, I slept through that one, right?
Man, I told you I wasn't watching that game, and I didn't.
13-16 was the final score. It was like the Commanders gave that game to the Dolphins.
That was two bad teams playing in a bad place to play. Madrid is probably the worst any of the stadiums that they play at overseas. It was not a good environment. It was not a good game.
We're going to talk about this Bengals-Steelers game, man. And the reason why we're going to talk about this a little bit more, we've talked about this several times on the show. I was just disappointed in Jamar Chase, even though they was getting beat real bad in this game. But to spit on the man and spit in his face and lie about it, man. And not only do you deserve that suspension, you deserve not to get no paycheck for that. Your thoughts?
Man, I can't believe we here again. I was mad the first time we had to talk about it in week 1 with that knucklehead. And now, knowing what he got, you turn around and do this again. Let me put it out there for human consumption. It is 3 things that I cannot stand that I automatically see as disrespect for a man to do to another man. Number 3, call that man a bitch. You don't call no other grown-ass man a bitch. 2, to slap somebody in their face. You do not slap another man. And number 1 is spit. Purposely spit on an individual. The only thing I can think worse than that is if you pull out your wee-wee, pull your pants down, and goof goof on them. That's the only 2 worst things I can think you could do to a person. Long story short, I really wish they would have made a real example out of him. And I promise you, if anybody else do this season, in their season, period, and take all they loot,
I think that 34-12 whooping did that. When you getting beat like that, 34-12, man, I still feel like that ain't worth you spitting on nobody. But
I'd rather you have slapped him than to spit on him, for real.
Chargers versus the Jaguars, man. That was a really bad game. You never know which Justin Herbert you're gonna get, and then we got the 35. You don't know what
Trevor Lawrence you're gonna get either.
He didn't play good in that game either. It was mostly the defense and Travis Etienne who carried that team.
And you know I love that dude, man. You know I do. But I don't know if we ever really gonna get what we think we supposed to get out of Herbert or Trevor Lawrence in the
I
long run.
agree. But
They
30, but
just good
35,
enough to
6
be good NFL quarterback. I don't think they're gonna live up to the potential that we saw out of either one of them.
I would have loved to seen a healthy Buffalo Tampa Bay play each other, man, but that
Yeah,
didn't happen. And that's why the score ended up being lopsided at the end with the 44-32. But what was your thoughts on that game?
I really think that if, like you said, Tampa Bay was healthy, they probably had one of the best records, if not the best record in the league right now. That's just how
Agree.
good Baker
Agree.
Mayfield is playing. But he can only do so much.
With so little.
Right. Bottom line is, right now, I say them the two MVP candidates, him and doggone Danny Dimes. Well, no, I take that lie back. Because really not Danny Dimes. It's Stewart.
Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan
Yeah,
Taylor.
yeah.
Bears and the Vikings was a really bad game, bro.
I don't know, JJ. I don't know. It's so crazy how you look so good one week, and then the next week, I mean, granted, y'all still almost messed around and pulled that game off. But that was
It
one
was
of
a
the
no-biter at the end. It was
that was,
dead until the
that was one
very
of the
last
good
5
kicking
minutes.
experiences that we had this weekend.
And you know what followed that game was another bad one, the Texans and the Titans, man. Moving on. The Panthers, man. You never know what Panthers team you're gonna get. They're so Dr. Jekyll and
They
Hyde.
are so frustrating. Now, granted, I got to give your boy some credit. That's the first game I saw him play where I felt like, yeah, you are actually an NFL quarterback. You know,
He
usually I see him
was
play be like, well, yeah, he all right, but in the end, he probably gonna be somebody's backup. Now, this week he played and his decision making and where he went with the ball, he actually looked like a good NFL quarterback. Now I'm feeling like you just got to get out of there and go to a team that's gonna work
agree.
with you.
448
I would
passing,
love to see that dude in Arizona.
448 and 3 touchdowns, man.
That was
That was the best
very
game of
impressive.
his career.
And he
He was
had a
the
high
shining
completion
star of that
percentage as
game.
well. That was
And
very
that
impressive.
final score was 30-27. At least they scored 27 points this time because when Carolina scored the 30 before, they couldn't match it. So yeah, I'm just questioning now Atlanta Falcons, man. What's their record now? 3-7.
I don't
We
think
thought
it
they
even
was gonna
matters
be
no more
playing
because we got the bad news today that Penix is out
Penix
for the
out for the
season.
year.
So
Mm-hmm.
guess what? That's right, y'all. It was the reason why
Kirk
they didn't
Cousins.
trade him, and now you got to
The
deal
Kirk
with it.
Cousins show.
Good luck, buddy.
Packers and Giants, man. What were your thoughts on that game? I feel bad
I'm
for
trying to
that.
tell y'all, the Packers doing a lot of smoke and mirrors right now because they may have a decent defense, but that dude Jordan Love ain't what y'all making him out to be, man. That dude not quite
I double down
what
on that.
being advertised. He makes bad decisions.
And the only way I think they won that was because of that defense, the
No,
27-20.
they actually won that because the Giants made a worse decision. They put in Famous Jameis, and Famous Jameis ultimately did what Famous Jameis does.
Screw up
Those
at the end.
interceptions. I know they glad that they're getting Dirk back this week. That's the good news. The bad
Thank
news
God.
is they got to play my lion.
Yeah, that ain't looking too good. I forgot all about that one. Seahawks and the Rams. That was like one of the best games to me this weekend, or that weekend prior.
No, it wasn't. Sam Darnold, you're doing it again. You started seeing
Yeah,
them
them
ghosts,
4
didn't you,
picks was
bro?
ridiculous. Yeah, he saw them
It
ghosts that game.
wasn't just that it was the 4 picks, it's the way he threw a couple of those picks. He panicked.
He would throw the ball and like he was throwing it on the run. Like that's how he was
He
looking, man.
panicked. He
And
ain't look like that since USC.
It wasn't like Stafford had a lights out game. It was just he did just as bad. But the crazy part was, even with all those picks, though, man, if they had a good enough kicker, they probably could have won that game, man. That defense,
The kicking
despite
game
Sam
did
Darnold
play.
playing that bad,
The kicking
and
game
that
did come into play in a lot of these games.
yeah, that final score was 21-19. 49ers and Chargers, man. That was a pretty rough game, too, man. The 41-22 49ers with Brock Purdy coming back.
And he still don't look 100% to me, but he still did enough. And It's crazy, but all of a sudden, CMC is a thing again. Remember, it
Yeah,
was a
yeah,
time like, everybody fantasy team had to have CMC because you knew he was scoring every game. He's starting to play like that again.
absolutely. And that was a big game for them too, man. The Ravens and the Browns, you
And they
was
tried
right
to get
about
healthy
that.
at the right time.
That whole team started to get back healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You had me with that Ravens and Browns one. That was pretty accurate, man. That final score was 23-16, and Lamar Jackson definitely looked human that game, man. Would he have like 193 yards and 2 interceptions, no scores?
You got to give that Browns defense some credit. Myles Garrett, a grown ass man out there, dog.
Yeah, he terrorizing the whole
He
game
definitely looking like defensive player of the year yet again. But
with that very bad offense.
I'm interested to see what happens when a bad Browns team this week plays the team they gonna play, which we'll talk about in a minute, and Shedeur Sanders is the starter. With
I
a week
bet
to actually
you they
prepare
gonna
for an opponent and actually get some reps in practice.
definitely looking forward to that game myself, man.
As bad as that matchup is, I gotta probably check it out just for that purpose.
We're gonna get this game out the way right quick too, man. That Cowboys Raider game was very bad. I didn't even watch that.
Come on.
Thank you, brother.
Come on.
Chiefs and the Broncos.
Now we talking. And what we talking about is we starting to get a little concerned about Kansas City, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City is 5-5. Never in a million years would you have thought out of the 14 teams that made the playoffs last year that 3 of the teams that's looking like they may not make it, one of them would be the Chiefs and another one would be the Ravens. Did not see that on my bingo card. But that being said, would not be surprised they go on a nice little run and we look up and they in the playoffs. Because if they make the playoffs, they're as dangerous as any team that would be in there. Because as long as
Who
you
they
got
remind you of, B?
huh?
What team they remind you of by saying those same words that you just coming out of your mouth? Just like how the Patriots was back in the days.
Absolutely. As
In the
long as they had a
playoff,
healthy Brady, they could make things happen. You are absolutely right.
that final score was 19-22. It was pretty good defensively, but that's basically all I could say about that.
I don't know if that's the more interesting thing or the fact that the Broncos are actually 9-2.
I was really surprised with that. The 9-2.
They
And possibly
actually
winning that division.
9-2 and got a pretty good schedule to work off of the rest of the season.
Yeah, agree. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in seeing where they be at too. And then Patrick Surtain is not even back yet, so I want to see what they really do once they're playing
Right.
those cards. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Detroit Lions versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
Ooh, my Lions, they took a butt whooping, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie.
Question:
At times it looked real ugly.
Do you think that they should have kicked more field goals, man? We know
Okay,
how.
here we go. Here we go.
That's my question, because that's what a lot of people.
Here we go. Now, normally I would agree with most of y'all on that, but do remember, in that game, that damn field conditions and the wind was very bad, particularly in the first half. We got a good kicker. Jason Bates is a good kicker, but in that wind, I don't think it would have mattered. Now, it all boils down to that question that we always seem to question when the Lions lose. Because when the Lions win and Dan Gamble
He's a genius.
and have the best fourth down completion percentage in the league, no problems then. But when we lose and it don't work, but twice in 8 times that game, now we question it all over again. That's BS, okay? That is not why we lost that game. We lost that game because, like I said, weather was bad, golf was off, that defense ain't nothing to play with over there in Philly, and we still didn't pull off enough good plays on our end of the defense to capitalize.
Bottom line.
I do believe that's a whole different game if that game's in Detroit on the inside without the wind.
because people wanted Golf benched after that game. And you know, I used to be an advocate of
And y'all
clowning
make
that man. E, you ain't hear a word from me about him. He dogging them. You seen that
y'all make
condition?
me sick. Cause y'all know every year golf gonna have 2 or 3 of these games. We talk about this. It just happens with him, unfortunately. But I can say that about most of the quarterbacks in this league. You know, usually a couple games where
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen plays bad. You see what's been going on with our guy Lamar Jackson. So it happens. It happens. This week it should be a whole different story, and some of y'all be right back on the bandwagon.
Did you see that pass, man? When he got that pass interception, I couldn't even be mad at it because you see that mug going straight, and that mug just it curved.
Yeah,
What in the
the
world?
win. But
I
then the
was
one
scared.
guy that
E.
kept batting all the passes, did you see the hands on that dude?
Yeah,
Now I got some nice size hands myself, but no, that dude hands is like some catcher's mitts.
that dude
They
has some
huge.
grizzly bear hands,
And
man.
he's 6'6" Jordan Davis. He all is 6'6", 330.
And they were just swatting balls, man. They were the SWAT team over there. But yeah,
No
like I said,
doubt.
man, you know, usually I used to be the one who was frustrated, doing crazy, and having a fit. I just basically looked at it like it is, and I got to the point where, and I know you heard it on the show, I'm just comfortable to the point of where we just got to focus on what we got to do in our brand right now, man. And I can't get upset with everything. I got to start more enjoying the game for what it's worth. A lot of us want that Super Bowl here, man, but it's
Because
like,
we ain't
man,
never
it
had,
ain't
and I get all
happening here.
that. But I said at the beginning of the year, I don't think the Lions is a Super Bowl winning team this year. I don't care if we would have made a couple deals at the trade deadline. I don't think that would have changed the scenario any. I said they would probably win 10 or 11 games. That's about what we on pace for.
You know what
It's
was crazy
the
too,
Eagles. They
E?
supposed to win because they supposed to be the Super Bowl defending champ. And more than likely, if they play like that, they'll probably get back there again.
And what was surprising to me too is when I seen some things too, like I was like, well, dang, I even said, like, man, shit, we got aggressive over there. But no, when you get aggressive, guess what you do? You're losing your foundation. We built a lot of these guys on foundation. Who thought we was gonna get a Amon-Ra St. Brown in the round that we did? Who thought we was gonna get Brian Branch in the round that we did? We have some guys we actually can still kind of maneuver with. I know that window, a lot of people are getting
Don't forget
concerned
about the
because
whole Jamar Gibbs. Why we trade up him? Why we ain't get so and so?
they
Every year,
dogged us,
half
man.
y'all Lions fans is like this. Y'all ain't never happy. We might actually mess around, and go Super Bowl. You still won't be happy. Well, we ain't gonna win. I can't stand some of y'all. I swear to God. We used to have the worst team in football for about a damn decade. Can we not just enjoy this?
Hey,
Enjoy
I'm
this,
trying.
man. The worst team we got in the city right now is the Red Wings, and even they in third place. Come on, enjoy.
Yeah. On that note, E, let's go ahead and hit this college game up, man. We got week 13, number 18.
Wait a minute. You mean we about to do
Get
the
your book.
prediction? Now you know we got to get everybody set up proper. Like so, okay, y'all. For those of y'all that like to play along with us, go and get your pens and papers and whatnot. Shout out to our good people, Road, and of course Coach B, who like to put in their picks. This is your time. Put your picks in. I'll put them up on the screen for y'all, and
We
we
need
will
that
do it
music.
like we do.
We need that Price is Right music to give people a second, man, before we start getting before we
No,
jump.
actually, we need that the Jeopardy music.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
All right, here we go.
Is you ready? All
Yeah,
right,
I'm ready.
man. Number 18, Michigan versus Maryland. They got us by 13 and a half. I'm going under that.
Now, let me say for the record, y'all, moving forward, I'm no longer going to address the point spread. Let me tell you why. It is because of what's been going on lately with all these gambling scandals and whatnot. And it seemed like most of the things that are being talked about in terms of stuff being done a little hokey pokey and shady is these prop bets and the spreads. So me myself as a person, I'm not trusting some of that anymore right now. So if some of y'all take our picks and consider y'all gambles with that, I ask humbly not to do that anymore. If you're
I
gonna
hope
bet,
not.
just bet the straight up money line. In other words, who gonna win and who gonna lose. So from now on, I will no longer be addressing the points, my brother. By all means, please still give them the spread for those who do care about such things. But I'm only gonna tell you who I think gonna win and who I think gonna lose and why.
Yes, sir.
All right. That being said, Michigan gonna whoop Maryland by a good 3 touchdowns.
Rutgers
Without
versus
running back.
Rutgers versus that team down south, that red team you love to hate so much.
Another warm-up game for that team down south.
31.5 point favor. I'm taking that. Crazy part is Dan Orlovsky said this is the team who's a number one team who hasn't been tested all year. Do you agree?
Yeah, and honestly, when we play them, it ain't like we gonna get much to test either. Truth, I'm just gonna be
We're
honest.
just gonna go with Texas A&M on this one, and it's so bad that they don't got an actual money line on this one, man, or no point spread. So just go with Texas Tech, people, because I don't know
Who
who the
they
hell
playing?
Samford. I don't know who the hell Samford is.
Again, I hate how these teams in the Big 12 and SEC in the middle of the season decide to take a bye week
Crappy
and play these
games.
nobodies. Continue.
Number 22, Mizzou versus number 8, Oklahoma.
I'm going with the upset in that, and that's
think
something
that
because I'm going from with here, Mizzou, baby.
I'm not only going with Mizzou, but I'm gonna take Mizzou and I'm gonna take the 7.5 points.
Because I see the key to that game for them is to use their running game to slow down the clock and basically get some pressure on my mans who's still not 100%, and we all know.
And they got the athletes over there in Mizzou too, man.
Indeed.
Number 13 against James Franklin new team. That's Miami, of course, versus Virginia Tech.
It's crazy how quick he got a job, man.
Man, who you telling?
I am stunned by that. But I like that move for Virginia Tech because in the end, they just basically want to be relevant. He can get them to relevancy. And he just want a team where he ain't got to be pressed to be a champion every season. If they just basically make it to the playoffs, Virginia Tech should be happy. So,
be surprised too. A lot of people gonna decommit.
Yeah.
A lot of people gonna decommit and go over there too for him.
I think so, but not so far. Miami.
But damn, the 48.5 points is insane. I'm gonna go under that. Charlotte versus Georgia. Number 4, Georgia. Yeah. Let's move on.
I know Charlotte had an NFL team. I mean, an NBA team. No, y'all know what I'm saying, really.
NCAA. That's bad.
Charlotte, University of Charlotte quit playing.
That game coming on around noon too, and it's another bad one too. We're just gonna say Alabama in the scrimmage too, because they're playing Eastern Illinois.
Well, why is we even doing picks this week for the SEC if
we
all them playing?
Period. It's a waste of time.
I blame you. You know better.
USC and Oregon.
That might actually be a good game, people.
I'm gonna go with USC. Number 15, USC winning.
I kind of got a feel. I'm going Oregon, but I'm thinking it's gonna be a real tight one and a real good one.
Because number 7, Oregon hasn't impressed me much neither, man.
They haven't impressed me either, but this will be the time to do so.
Syracuse and Notre Dame. I'm gonna definitely go with Notre Dame in the 35.5.
Man, Notre Dame getting over on the system, boy.
Another trap game, Kentucky versus number 14, Vanderbilt. But I'm gonna go with Vanderbilt at home.
Careful, Vandy. Be careful. The SEC hit different. I got Vandy, but wouldn't be surprised.
Shocker 2E is Arkansas versus number 17, Texas. I'm gonna go under, but I'm gonna pick Texas because I think it's gonna be closer than what people think, man.
That's a trap game for Texas because they got Texas A&M next week. So I got them, but that part.
Tulane, number 24, Tulane and Temple. I'm gonna go with Tulane, but I'm gonna go under the 7.5.
Tulane, another one of them schools that tend to be doing stuff that we didn't think they could do it at a school like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because you never really hear Tulane in football, and they starting to become relevant.
Granted, they ain't gonna make the playoff or nothing, but it's a nice story.
Kansas State versus number 12, Utah. I'm going Utah, and I'm gonna go with them 17.5.
Utah in for now. They about to be on their way out.
TCU versus number 23 Houston. I'm gonna go with the upset, and I'm gonna pick TCU, and I'm gonna get them the 1.5 points they gave Houston.
I'm taking TCU also.
Pitt and Georgia Tech. I'm gonna go under the 2.5 points they have for Georgia Tech, but I'll go with Georgia Tech in a close one.
I'm taking Pitt.
Number 20, Tennessee versus Florida. I'm gonna go with Tennessee, but I'm gonna go with the under the 4.5 points.
Is that the Swamp?
Yes.
That's always a great environment when them two teams play each other at the Swamp, man. I
Remember
still
the
got to go with
dude?
Tennessee, but don't be surprised if it's close.
Remember they almost got into a fist fight, dude, up there, man. It'd be some wild stuff going on in
They
the
gets it
Swamp.
in, them two teams. They do.
Number 21, Illinois and Wisconsin. Of course, I'm gonna go with Wisconsin because I hate Illinois. And like you said,
And
I
I
think
don't care.
number 11, BYU and Cincy. I'm gonna go with BYU and I'm gonna take the spread to 2.5.
Please put Cincinnati out their misery.
And then
I'm
your
tired.
number 25, Arizona State, and your boys Colorado. I'm definitely gonna go with Arizona.
Colorado is done. They're done. They're done.
Give y'all a second to clear your throats, and we about to get into the NFL.
All right. Let's talk about some real football because a lot
Yes,
of
sir.
this week in college they ain't looking too good.
Thursday, you have the Bills and the Houston Texans, and just found out C.J. Stroud won't be playing as Davis Mills, so I'm gonna go with Buffalo, and I'll take the
Bills
6 points.
again.
Patriots and Bengals, come on now, I'll take the points and the Patriots with
Although
the
it's going
7.
to be interesting, they say it may be a couple weeks and they get Joe Burrow back. I'm kind of
It's a
waiting to see how they
possibility
play
he might. They're saying he practicing right now too, so yeah, definitely interested in that. Then you have us taking the New York Giants. I'm gonna take the 10. I'm gonna take the 10 points on that.
We got a lot of frustrations to take out. I do believe this the week we do so. My Lions in a blowout.
Colts in Kansas City at home. I'm gonna go with the Colts with the upset. And it's funny to say because they're 5-5, but I'm gonna go with the Colts in the upset.
I
But I'm
think
gonna go under
KC
the
will have
3.5.
the. I'm going with KC.
Steelers versus the Bears. I'm gonna go with the Steelers on the road, and I'll take the
This
2.
the
Well,
type
wait a
of
minute.
game that the damn Steelers win.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the 2.5 too that they gave Chicago.
I mean,
'Cause
even
I
if
think
Aaron
that
Rodgers
defense gonna
don't
show
play,
up.
I still think they could beat the Bears.
Yeah, I think this is a game the defense could show up with Mason Rudolph because he's a reliable backup, if you
He
will.
decent. He decent.
Jets versus the Ravens, the 5-5 Ravens too, man. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go with the Ravens in the 13.5, of course.
Come on now.
Seattle versus Titans. I'm gonna take that 13.5 and I'm going with Seattle.
Next.
Vikings and Packers. I'm gonna go with the Vikings in the upset, man.
That's crazy how they played them after they played the Bears. I'm going with the Vikings for some crazy reason.
Jaguars and the Cardinals. I'm gonna go with the Jags, but only by 3.
Going with the Jags. I feel bad for Jacoby Brissett. He just can't seem to catch a break.
If I have any time to skip a game, for the love of God, I'm skipping this one. And they shouldn't even put this at 4:00. They should flex these damn games. You don't have the Browns and Raiders at 4:00, damn it. Move
the
on.
problem we have this week, Hugh, is that people will watch that game, and you know why? Because they want to see what Shadur is going to do. And actually, it's good for him because not only is he playing that damn Raiders team, but it might just be an audition for him to be a Raider next year.
Got a point.
So, yeah, even though normally I'd be like, yuck, I'm kind of interested to see what's going to happen.
You definitely said that. I wasn't expecting that. The Falcons and the Saints, I'm going to go with the Saints at home because I did not trust the Falcons.
And they got my man's playing quarterback now. The Aints might be the Saints this week. I'm going to go with the Saints.
Eagles and Cowboys. They had the Eagles by 3.5. I'll give them that advantage. I think they're going to beat the brakes off of the Cowboys, though.
Well, remember the first week, it didn't necessarily go that way.
Yeah, it was
high
close.
scoring affair. I don't think it's going to be quite as high scoring this time, but I think the result's the same. Eagles win.
you're gonna be proud of this one. This one is the Buccaneers and Rams. This is the 8 o'clock Sunday game. I'm gonna go with the Rams at home, 7 points because of the
I gotta
fact
go
that
with the
they're
Rams. They
healthy.
on the heater right now, but Dude Baker, he ain't gonna come in there saying we just here. You
Because I
gonna
think the
beat
Rams
us.
is the most dangerous team right now in the game. And the Panthers and 49ers for your Monday night game. I'm gonna go
That's
with
the
San
point.
Francisco.
Oh, they so wrong for that.
I'm gonna get
They
them the
need to
seven
start
points too.
flexing those games. I agree.
Because you never know what Panthers team you're gonna get neither, man. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely go with San Fran.
I'm going tonight.
And that's all, E man. Anything else you want to add, brother?
No, I'm pretty good with it. Keep in mind, next couple weeks we got a couple interesting things that's gonna come up. We still got the negotiations for the WNBA. Let's see what happened there. And of course, the winter meetings will be coming up very soon for baseball.
Can't wait.
This might be interesting. It's a couple big names out there that might be moving. Among them being that dude Tarek Skubal. So we'll see how that plays.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm definitely interested. This is usually one of the best times of year, low key for baseball fans, and people don't give credit. But yeah, that's when we're gonna get all this hot stove news, man. And as much as people love the NFL free agency, hot stove lasts for weeks.
Right. Oh, one last thing. I want to definitely give a shout out to that dude, Kay Cunningham. Congratulations on getting your own shoe for Nike. That's awesome.
Yeah, they said the logo and everything's pretty dope, man. I heard him talk about that with Kevin Durant on his pod, man. And yeah, so what's up with Stephen Curry, man? Did you hear too that he left Under Armour? So what move is he gonna make next?
We shall see. I mean, keep in mind, Stephen is like 37. But yeah, there's talk of him getting a Nike shoe. And remember, there's also talk of him possibly, after not playing anymore in the NBA, going on the live tour and playing
Oh,
golf.
that's
So
pretty
remember,
interesting.
Steph actually is a pretty good golfer,
He
y'all.
is. He definitely is. Him and I seen Caitlin play. She's not bad. So yeah, definitely
Indeed.
makes sense, man, to do that after your career. I mean, you're gonna see a lot of people follow that footstep too.
Right.
Well,
But
that's
yeah,
all
that's
for
all
me
I
too.
got. Do your thing, bro.
Yes,
Do your
sir.
thing.
Okay. Y'all already know what time it is. First and foremost, we appreciate y'all, chiming in and listening to the show. These are the ways you can catch me too on my networks. Where's the prompt at? Oh, you don't have it up? Well, okay. Well, it's all good. I got it. I got it. You can catch me. Okay, you can catch me at Sports Guru 2U, and that's my Facebook page. Of course, I put like the late breaking news and just the scores from the night before and the different highlights. And on Instagram, I'm Hoovy, WHOOVI. I put most of our product and our brand and give you like the skits of our promos and give you snippets and previews of what we've done and the different podcasts we create. And then on TikTok, I'm Hugh.Lee6. That's where I put a lot of my basketball, football, etc. I put a lot of reels up and then my promos as well. And I'd like to give a shout out to the people on TikTok, Facebook, and on Instagram who's been showing their love and support. And I would like to give a shout out to everybody in the Nighthawk Network as well. Coach V, Felicia with Rumble Time. And then, you got my girl Roll to Stardom. And of course, the addition to T with Big Meech, Big Red, and Nikki. Like to say thank you all for chiming in and giving us your love and support.
Absolutely. Of course, shout out to my cousin, Dr. Marla Farsi, and her show, No Weapons Formed Against Us Shall Prosper. And of course, my dude, one and only Pastor Sean Love. Pastor Sean Love Presents that we put on every Sunday. Shout out to him. Hopefully, I've been checking that out. Some good messages there. One thing, y'all, the I Am Nighthawk show, we will have that this Sunday. On that show, which will be one of the last 4 I Am Nighthawks it will be, I shall explain why I decided to call it quits to the main show that I did all these years and give y'all that understanding. So again, that's gonna be I Am Nighthawk at 9 p.m. on Sunday.
Well, that be it, man. We'll see y'all next week.
All right, until then, y'all. Deucey's bad.